All right, fight fans, welcome to another edition of No Standing Eight Boxer Talk. And this is the second installment of Beyond the Ropes, where we highlight people that are not fighters, people that contribute to the sport in some shape or fashion, whether it be writers, coaches, promoters, photographers. And in this case, I have a very, very popular guest on Boxing Twitter. All right, and we're going to go with that, right? Because Boxing Twitter, if you don't know about Boxing Twitter, it is a thing, and it is a real thing, right? And you got fans that participate and talk about fights, but you also got personalities on Boxing Twitter, and I got one of those personalities today. Okay, she is the host and the creator of Knockouts with Nayka on YouTube, a very popular YouTube channel within the Boxing Twitter world. She also has her famous Red Cup series. Show me Red Cup, Nayka.
Yeah. I always have Red Cups.
Yeah, she got her Red Cup series that she does on Friday nights occasionally. She just started it back up. She had a good one last Friday. She also participates in Women Crushing It Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, we're in the ring with Christines and various other women involved in the boxing community. And she was also the mastermind behind Boxing Versus. And
I'm gonna bring that back too.
Yeah, we're gonna bring that back too, right? And I dare call her. She won't say this about herself, but I dare call her the queen of boxing Twitter. None other. Oh, no. Yeah, everybody gives some love to Nayka. Hey, Nayka, what's going on? All
right, Nayka, are you making me feel so special right here? I'm doing good.
Yeah, man.
My Red Cup making me feel good. You know, Yankees, and we have to represent the Bronx. We are Bronx affiliates. Like I had to put on my Yankees fitted when I saw you were trying.
That's it, man. I'm telling you, man. If you don't know she's from the Bronx, you're gonna know instantly as soon as she sounds from the Bronx and my Yankees fitted. So there it goes. But she's living in Florida right now, right? Mm-hmm. And but still, man, when you grew up in the Bronx, and we'll get into all that, but when you grow up in the Bronx, that's something that stays with you, no matter where you are. That's something that stays with you, especially at the time we grew up in the Bronx. That shit was fire. So yeah, that shit just stays with you. You represent it. It makes you, growing up in the Bronx is a whole different type of grow up. So we're gonna get on that. We're gonna get on that right now. So, Nayka, tell everybody a quick bio about you. Your family, where they're from. I know you got that perfect blend of Puerto Rican, Dominican going on, and tell them about how you came up, man, and a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Nayka. I'm Dominican Rican. Was raised in the Bronx. Let me see. I'm a huge boxing fan. I believe I started loving boxing because my mom was actually a big boxing fan back in the days. So those were the nights that I could stay up late and watch the fights. Were like when Tyson, when on HBO they had the pay-per-view fights. Those are the only nights that I could stay up mad late. So I think that's when I fell in love with boxing, because I was able to stay up late and just like sneak in and just watch the fights with my mom. So I just recently moved from the Bronx a couple of months ago. So I'm in Miami right now. But I don't even know how I fell into boxing Twitter. I just I had a Twitter account years ago, and then I just signed back up for it, and then somehow found my way to boxing Twitter, and now I can't get out of it. It's boxing Twitter is like a place when they get a hold of you, you can't get out of it. So sometimes I'd be like, why? I don't even want to be a part of this community because it's so like toxic, to be honest. And if you're someone who has like a strong personality and opinion, you're gonna get a lot of toxic fans that you're gonna have to argue and just like debate with online. And I think that's where I fell into it, because I feel like I have a strong opinion on things and I don't back up from it. And people know that I have a short temper, so they poke and they say things that they know I'm gonna react to, and I always bite the bait. So then I try to start a YouTube channel just to do when I'm not doing anything, just to like have fun. And that's how I started the Boxing Versus, just to keep my mind busy and when I don't do anything. So
that's right. Yeah. I feel you on that. If you're a boxing fan and you're on Twitter, you're either gonna find boxing Twitter or boxing Twitter is gonna find you. Okay, so
exactly.
Yeah. So and again, to give a gist of people what boxing Twitter really is, it's just fans and a collection of fans, casual fans, hardcore fans, some of the writers in the business, some of the promoters, the fighters themselves, and it goes without saying, some trolls. You get some trolls that
Definitely the trolls. I feel like the trolls are like 75% of boxing Twitter,
yeah,
to be honest.
yeah, they want to get a reaction, they want to get a rile up. And I knew that you weren't the fucking one when I heard your intro song. If y'all haven't logged on to Nayka's YouTube channel, her intro song is "Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down" by Brand Nubian. All right.
Yes.
And that song don't resonate with anybody unless you're about that life. So,
yeah.
So
I don't even know. When I was doing the intro, I don't know. I was just looking for like a song that was talking about somebody getting beat up, and then I just like popped in my head.
And it was so funny, like growing up, that was one of my favorite. I love hip hop, but you know I love hip hop.
Right?
Right?
So the only people who know hip hop know those old school songs like that.
I love hip hop. I love salsa music. That's it. I mean, I could dibble dabble some other shit, but after a while, I go back to that, right?
That was good hip hop when we were growing up.
And so when I heard that, dun, 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 I was like, oh, yeah, that's Brand Nubian. That's shit, man. Yeah. So I said, yeah. She's either a fight fan or she beats bitches up on a regular, or both. So,
both.
so what? So aside, you know what's so funny? Well, I shouldn't say funny, but what's interesting was that for most people, their introduction to boxing was a male figure, you know, and mostly either their dad or brother or an uncle. For you, it was your mom, and I noticed that you are constantly giving your mom love. You give her flowers now. Speak a little bit about your relationship with your mom, what she means to you.
Well, my mom and my dad, like she was a single mother. That I have two younger sisters. So she definitely did her best, and I can't thank her enough. So I'm always gonna give her flowers. The person that I am, like if you think that I'm feisty, my mom is like 10 times me. Like being around her again now, like as an adult, I realize that I get my attitude and my spiciness from my mom. So like, I love her. So it's like she did. I can't think of anybody else that I would give my whole heart to besides my mom. So.
That's right. I mean, she kind of had to be feisty. She kind of had to be rough. She was raising, kids on her own in the Bronx. Did she speak English?
No, when we came here, like my mom
is
Dominican. Yeah, my mom is Dominican. So when we moved to New York, she didn't know a lick of English at all. She went to college. I think it was Hostas Community College.
Yeah, Hostas Community College over there in Grand Concourse.
Yeah, she didn't know English when she went there. Somehow she got her accountant degree. So she did it. Now she speaks English, but it's definitely like a broken English.
Yeah.
But she knows enough to get by. But she finished college without knowing a lick of English. Yeah, she gets her point across though, for sure.
Yeah, so that you always give her her love, her props, and that's good, man, because there's a saying that we grew up with in the Hispanic community, whether you're Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, it don't matter. And it says this: "Padres cualquiera, madre solo una."
Mm-hmm.
And what that translates to is that anybody could be a father, but it can only be just one mother. And for a lot of us during that time, that if you did not grow up in New York City, or any inner city, where New York, Chicago, LA, during the height of the crack era, bro, you just don't know the struggle. And especially being a parent and having kids that went to school in that era, and you had to leave the house. You couldn't stay locked up. So that's what those parents are cut from a different cloth. They're not breaking down like some of the parents today just because they have to wear a fucking mask or something.
The different breed. Different breed.
Different breed. So that brings us to your various YouTube channels. You said that you started this as just a way to have fun, kill the time, because you're a boxing fan. What was the premise of originally of Knockouts with Nayka?
Well, like, I have insomnia, so I do not sleep. I literally go to sleep like every morning, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I still get up for work. I don't even know how I function, to be honest. Like
It's
last night,
amazing.
I went to sleep like at 5:30. I got up for work at 8. So then I'm just like, like you have so much time on your hands because you don't sleep. You gotta do something to keep your mind occupied. So let me try to start a YouTube channel. This was kind of like I started it like when a little bit, I think right when the pandemic started, or a little right before it, and it just gave me something fun to do. I got like a backdrop. I was like, it just gave me something fun to do. And truly I started it because I was getting into it with a lot of people on boxing Twitter, and I was getting suspended because I was just like cussing them out on Twitter, and whatever I was saying was enough to get me suspended. So I needed a way to like talk shit and not get suspended. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna record what I have to say, and they can't do nothing about it. So
That's
that's
right.
how it really started. It was like I got into like a PBC fanatic who had a lot to say about my mother. Like we're just talking shit. It had nothing to do with boxing. We're just talking crazy shit. And so I knew that if I like clapped back on Twitter that I was gonna lose my account for like the 100th time. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get on YouTube and I'm gonna go at it. And that was my first video. And I got like over 1,000 views of it because I was just like going in on it. So
Yeah.
that's how I originally how my channel came about, just
Yeah.
because I was
And listen,
always getting suspended.
if you haven't been privy to some of her clapbacks, them shits are epic, man. So when Nayka claps back, bro, you
And I've been chilling though because the page I have now is still it's on the last leg. So if I get reported one more time, I'll get shut down. So I haven't been really cussing people out like that. So yeah,
oh,
because
you
this
remember him?
literally is like my 40th page. It's really like my 40th page. I don't even know what phone number or email the page is under because somebody made it for me, because I don't have no more emails, no more phone numbers to make another Twitter account. I've had so many Twitter accounts. It's crazy. So
It's crazy,
that's
man.
why I made a YouTube page so I could talk my shit and nobody can like report me and get me suspended. So
That's it. That's it. Like I said, if especially if you're a man and you think you want to get into a verbal altercation with knockouts with Nayka, she gonna knock your ass out, man. She gonna. I'm telling you, your ass better be confident in every skill you have as a man, because she gonna attack it. So
no, because they get real disrespectful on there.
man,
They really do.
yeah,
They really do. You have to say something or they'll
and,
just like
and that's
it's
the stuff that we
crazy.
see, not the stuff we don't see. I bet you your DMs be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, oh my God. Yeah, that's why I barely open up my DMs, because like the stuff that they send me and like the things that they say is out of this world. And like I don't even know how I get suspended for like cussing people out on Twitter. But like if you look on Twitter all the time, there's porn, there's all types of stuff on there.
Oh
But
man.
and those accounts are still going. I curse somebody else and call them like, I say, oh, your man was a pussy, and then I get suspended. I'm like, wow, really? Like, that's
Yeah.
light word.
But all along you could fucking type pussy and it'll pop up.
And then yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's crazy. Like Twitter is weird with that. It really is.
Yeah. And then shortly after that, you started the Red Cup series, man, because people were, let me tell you, people be watching you. All right. From what you're wearing to what you're saying to what's people want to know what the fuck was in the Red Cup, right?
Yeah.
That you be sipping on. So you took that. You are a marketing genius because you took that. Red Solo cups probably have prices have increased because of you, right? And you took that and you started your own series called the Red Cup series, which airs on Friday nights. What's that about?
Well, because I saw that when I was doing the boxing versus, that I wanted to do something where I could just talk sports, or just have people come up and talk about sports. And you know people have called me an alcoholic because they've always seen me with a red cup. And so I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna play off of it. Red cup Nayka. Like, okay, yeah. Guess who's in my red cup? Sometimes people don't even know. Sometimes I have water in the cup. Like
All right.
they think I'm an alcoholic, so I'm gonna roll with it. Yeah. I'm an alcoholic with the red cup.
Yeah.
Come up here and talk your shit. So,
That's it. I'm telling you, man. You have given life to shit that didn't have life before. You have given life to the Red Cup. You have given life to fucking mangoes. I don't think that was another thing, right?
Yeah.
All you did was because your mom has mangoes in her backyard, right?
Yes. So, my mom actually gave me this house. So she has a forest in the back with mango trees, avocado trees. We have, endless supplies of like vegetables and fruits. So, you know, it was mango season, and my mom had buckets of mango. So I was drinking mango juice and I was mixing it with the Bacardi. And like somehow that bothered some people, you know, oh, you know, all she does is drink liquor and drink and eat mangoes. Like, really? Like, okay.
I'll
Call
tell
me
you
Mango
what,
Mommy. I'm Mango Mommy. So that's my new nickname, Mango Mommy.
mango Bobby the red cup. I
Yeah.
tell you, man. I said, well, there gotta be something to this fucking mango shit. So I went and got some fucking mango juice, put that shit with some rum. Man, by
It's
midnight, my wife
good.
and I
It's
was
so
just bitch
good.
twisted. I was like, oh Lord, I ain't messing with this
Because
man.
it hides the taste of the liquor, you know?
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
I said, damn, I ain't fucking mangoes. What's wrong with these mangoes, man? So anyway, then you started the biggest buzz for about this during the summertime was boxing versus. That shit went viral quick. It got popular quick. You give, and what people don't know is that and she has been doing this for a long time on boxing Twitter. She puts herself out there and she uses her platform to highlight other people. You do the same thing. I had Abraham on last week. He was my first guest. And you guys show
Another BX buddy. Yeah.
another BX boy. And you
Yeah.
guys show so much love to people. That's why I don't understand. And him too. So he got some shit the other day because he said something up, he said that, Charles Spence would be a bigger fight, money wise than Spence Crawford. He's been saying that.
Yeah, you can't have an opinion on Twitter without rubbing somebody the wrong way. It's crazy. It's crazy. So
you give people, a platform to voice their box because you recognize that, people got some good shit to say. So I want to bring them on my channel and give them a platform. Hell, I mean, honestly, I want to put it out there. I didn't get discovered to do what I do. I got discovered through your channel.
Yeah, because I remember I was like, I have everybody do like a 10-15 second clip on like who you had to as a winner for what fight was that? Oh my god.
It was a Teofimo
Lopez fight. And Lomachenko fight. Yeah, and you did such a great like breakdown. It was more than 15 seconds, but that's why I was like, everybody, you have to like subscribe to this channel because like I wanted to put your whole breakdown on it. And so, you definitely had to start like your channel and like keep it going because it was like everybody was like commenting like, oh, this guy's breakdown was like awesome. He should do a page and give more commentary on his choices and his opinions on these fights. So yeah.
I always, a fan of boxing. I might be a boxer go back years, from fighter to coach to writer to now, hosting, YouTube channels and stuff like that. And I always wanted to do it, and my friends would tell me, "Hey, do it." But when you put out the call and give your predictions, I said, "Wow, fuck it, I'm gonna take a chance. Let me do this." And
it was an awesome breakdown.
It must have been
like, wow.
It must have been fate because that's how I got discovered.
Yeah.
So that's how
awesome.
it reached out, and then in a matter of no time, I'm interviewing Christy Martin. I'm with this, and I'm with that. And I'm everywhere, right? But I say all that not to shine me, but to shine who you are, who Abraham is. You guys gave people a platform to talk. So it was a no-brainer when you came up with boxing versus. How did that idea come about? And you that wasn't something that just came up overnight. You did some methodical planning on how to do that.
Yeah, because I was like, boxing Twitter is just really people arguing their opinions of boxing against each other. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna try to get these people on my channel to like debate their opinions because everybody always thinks they're right on Twitter. It doesn't matter. Like you can't tell nobody they're wrong on Twitter. So that was my thought about that. Like, and then the verses on Instagram was a big thing, like with the music, like, the artists, like music artists going against each other with the best songs that they've had. That was kind of buzzing at the time. So I'm just like, you know what? I should try to do this as, with the boxing fans and just have them on, 3 rounds, 3-minute rounds, and then just ask them questions and have them debate on it. And then at the time, the first time I had the chat, you know, voting to see who would be the winner, and then I got the judges to come on and vote. But that's how it came up. I was just like, you know, all these people are arguing online. It would be like a good thing. You know, everybody always thinks they're right. So let's put them up against each other and see who would actually win a debate. So
and I tell you, it got some heads spinning, not just boxing Twitter heads, some big people in boxing took notice, man, and they even started talking to you about you on their own podcast and mentioning you. And you know, yeah, you should start that back up again, man, because it was good.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that again.
That was good TV, yeah, man.
I had stopped it a little because I was like in the middle of a move, so I was like, yeah. I was busy with like just transitioning from New York to Florida, but like I'm definitely gonna revamp it and then bring it back because everybody's always asking like, "Where's this boxing versus?" So I definitely have to bring it back and revamp it a little bit.
Yeah. And you know what, man? It's such a hot platform. You know, I'm gonna put it out there right now. You want to get on Boxer Versus, you got to know your shit. You got to talk that shit. And know your shit. So I'll put it out there right now. To get on Boxer Versus, you got to send her a 30-second clip of all your best fucking arguments. And if you garbage, your ass ain't getting on.
I like that. I like that.
And the referees are gonna vote behind the scenes, so y'all gonna be hating on the referees. That was something else. They were hating on the refs.
Yes. But it was just one guy that was hating on the refs. Everybody else was okay with it.
Everybody was cool, man.
If you're a sore loser, you're gonna find everything that was wrong with whatever.
It
was one sore loser.
That shit was fire. I mean, you were so you had the ring bell ding into the show rounds. You adjusted referee outfit. It was good. So, and then you got hooked up with In the Ring with Christine. That's a Twitter handle, and you guys started Women Crushing It Wednesdays. It's just ladies hosting a show, a panel of boxing fans, boxing experts, that are women who love boxing. You know, this is in a heavily male-dominated sport, but women do fight, women do commentate, women do journalism, and women do have opinions.
She's actually a coach with the USA boxing team.
And she is a coach of the USA boxing team. She just traveled to the Olympics this past year. So
yeah, she's going to I forgot where she said she's traveling to. Ecuador, I think she said, and the next week. So yeah, with the USA boxing team. So she decided she wanted to do like a all-female show with, you know, she contacted me off of Twitter because you know, like when you start buzzing on Twitter, people kind of notice you. And she asked me if I wanted to come on. She wanted to do a show with like all females just talking boxing. It's like a relaxed environment, just giving our opinions on stuff. And you know, she came up with the name Women Crushing It Wednesdays. And her YouTube channel is In the Ring with Christine as well. And, you know, she has a lot of access to a lot of boxers because of the USA boxing team. So we've been getting, like recently, we've been getting a lot of amateurs to turn pro on the show and interviewing them. And then we just take a lot of questions from the chat. And it's been fun. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fun. And you guys do a really good job with it. And y'all do some serious boxing talk all day. Y'all do some serious analysis about future coming fights. You talk about some of the issues surrounding boxing, especially when my man Valdez piss hot.
Yeah.
You know, and damn boy, I used to love that cat. and y'all cut up too. Y'all know how to have a good time. You know.
Yeah, so I think it's a good blend of like, you know, different personalities and you know, just different, like everybody has their own opinions. It's never really the same. I feel like I'm the one who kind of like talks to shit on there, like, and kind of banters with like some of the people in the chat. And Christine is like the level-headed one. She has, you know, she's a USA boxing coach, so she has to stay. Like, I know sometimes she probably wants to go off on people, but she has to stay level-headed because she does have her job with USA boxing. Nancy, she's definitely has her own strong opinion. She's great at boxing analysis. And then we had Esmeralda, but she has a job that kind of like has kind of pushed away from being able to come on the times that we go on. But she welcomes like every female who just wants to come on to give their opinion. So, you know, it's a fun thing to do on Wednesday. So
it is fun. And like I said, it's quality, it's good boxing talk, and it's refreshing because And still, to this day, but women are still behind the curve in boxing in general. From the fighters, to some of the journalists got to really scrounge and work their way up the ladder. And the kind of hate that you get on Twitter is indicative of that. I think 90% that I think 90% of that hate is not necessarily what you say. I think honestly it's because you're a woman.
Yeah, it is. It is because it's always men that are really get into it. It's really men. I maybe got into it with like 3 or 4 females, but they're all bums. But the rest is all males. They really don't like women who have strong opinions about anything. So,
man, yeah, man. I see it, I read it, and that's a punk ass shit, man. Yeah, it is, man. So yeah, Abe and I kind of do the same thing, man. Abe is kind of the level-headed one, and I come in with the analysis and the amped upness. I be amped up and shit. But you kind of need that balance, man. We play off all of each other, man. So, all right. So, who was that fighter you first fell in love with? And I don't mean as I got to clarify because you got some knuckleheads out there. I don't mean as a man to a woman. I talk about because of his skills or her skills, because of his or her way to box. Who was that fighter for you?
It was Mike Tyson. It was Mike Tyson because I remember as a kid watching. Yeah, he had to be on that wall. He had to be on that wall.
Had to.
As a kid watching the fights with my mom, like I remember seeing him knocking people out. And then once I was old enough to like really watch fights for myself and then really understand what was going on, I was like, guys, this guy's a beast, Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was my first fighter that I fell in love with. I still love him to this day. Like, and to this day, I feel like he still could probably get a lot of these fighters out of here. To be honest,
he's still, man. Yeah, he's still. You see the workouts with the best. He's real. And you know what, man? If it's not stage, Paul might be in for a problem, man. So they step in that ring. So, I mean,
cut him out for sure.
For a lot of us that grew up in that era, I think I was at the height of his popularity. I was 10, 11, so I was already getting into boxing kind of on. But for me, growing up in the Bronx is always the baddest dude. That for me, they called him the baddest man on the planet. I was young, so when you say dude's the baddest man on the planet, in my mind, I'm thinking that motherfucker beat everybody in the world, Well, I mean, in boxing terms, he did, So, I mean, that dude, so many of my boxing memories. Who the fuck bites somebody's ear off in the ring? I mean,
it's like so much. That's why That's why I call myself on boxing Twitter Mike Tyson because I love him so much. So, I feel like everybody always like says I have such a feisty attitude that if I was in the ring, I probably would be like a little Mike Tyson. So that's why I named myself Mike Tyson on Twitter. So, and I had to like actually rename myself something completely opposite of what Twitter was seeing my Twitter handle as, although my page would get suspended because that's how they suspend you. If you try to name your page something close to what you had it before, they say, oh, this person's trying to recreate another page even though they're permanently suspended, so they'll get your page out of here. So that's how I had to like because at first it was like Knockouts with Nayka. Anything that had my whole name on it, it was getting suspended because they knew I was trying to recreate a page. So I had to like take the A off my name and put Mike Tyson, so they couldn't like realize who I was. So yeah,
damn haters, man, haters. You gotta
I know, crazy.
You're a big hip hop fan, R&B fan, New Jack type of fan.
Yes, 80s babies.
That's right, man. So who's that rapper for you?
You know what? I don't really have a favorite rapper. I love all like rappers from our era, like Nas, Jay-Z, all the brand Nubian, like those like I still listen to all those old 80s raps and stuff.
And that's
like
a true hip hop head answer, because if you say you have one favorite rapper, then you lie, man, because they were so hot when we were coming up, and they all had their own style.
Exactly. KRS-One, like it's so much,
like Abe said the other day, man. In the 80s, man, KRS-One, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy Kane. Oh, I love Big Daddy Kane. Yes.
Slick Rick, you know, he was just so Big Daddy Kane is the smooth fucking operator. That's who he is, man.
Yes,
you know,
yes. And that was my favorite song, bro. Smooth operator.
Yeah. And then in the 90s, you know, it was the 90s was just fucking epic. I mean, you couldn't pick. I mean, I gravitated towards everybody, man. Nas, Biggie, DMX.
We had a lot to choose from.
Big L, Lord Finesse. I mean,
so yeah, like you said, if you pick one, you're really not a fan of hip hop.
You're a fan, man.
Yeah,
so
I love all music. Yeah,
I love it. I get it, man. I get it. So, what's the most rewarding thing about what you do in terms of boxing?
Just like you know, when people like they, you know, even though I have haters, I do have a lot of fans that encourage me to say, you know, Nayka, you do a great job at, like, you know, talking your shit about boxing, standing on what you say. You know, those it's rewarding when I do get those fans that like appreciate what I do and they enjoy the content that I put out there. So that's definitely the most rewarding, because when you get into it with so many trolls and stuff, it's like not even really worth it. Sometimes you feel like it's not worth it sometimes, because I always end up arguing with people, and I'm just like, it's not fun arguing with people all the time, but I can't help it when somebody says something crazy to me to react. But then I do have the fans that always say, you know, don't let every time they see me go into it with somebody, I always get like hella DMs saying, Nayka, don't let these people like, you know, get to you. Don't quit. Don't, you know, just ignore them. Like I have a lot of those DMs that, like, I don't even open them, but I just see them, like, you know, in the preview.
Because you know, but what you're doing, it like you said, man. Some people just take things too seriously. I mean, I don't think anybody on boxing, you know, with the exception of the writers and the people that actually are, most of the fans and most of the people that argue back and forth, they argue like their life depended on it, like they argue for their mother's life. Like somebody got a gun to their mother's head and it's just argue. So
it's crazy.
So obviously the most frustrated thing, and that was going to be my next question, is probably that, right? The most frustrating thing about boxing Twitter is just the trolls, right? The
trolls, because like they get a kick out of it. Like they're not even, to me, I don't really even think they're real boxing fans. They just like enjoy the banter and the back and forth that they can like get out of people by saying stupid stuff and like saying ignorant things that have nothing to do with boxing, you know. So that's definitely like the
absolutely right
part of it.
You're absolutely right on that. You know, because you could tell, man, and who knows boxing by what they're saying, what you know, and that they follow it. They're not just reading something and just put it out there. You know, Abe and I were talking about this to be as popular as you are on boxing Twitter. It's not just because you're on there just talking shit. It's because for the most part, the real
I don't know what I was like.
Know that you have a good boxing knowledge.
A little bit of knowledge, yeah.
Because you would have been popular. I mean, you can't get quoted and by some of the biggest people in boxing if you don't know what you're talking about, you know. So that's a credit to you.
Irritates it irritates a lot of men. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It irritates a lot of men.
You know, it does.
So what it is. I'm not gonna stop being me. I'm not gonna stop talking shit. Like I'm gonna always say what I feel. So it is what it is.
You can't do it, because then it wouldn't be who you are. So what can boxing give you in 2022?
Hopefully boxing can give me the fights that all boxing fans want. You know, we want the Spence and the Crawford fights. Like I feel like that was shut down a lot of like the boxing Twitter back and forth, because the majority of the banter on Twitter is like the fights that haven't happened, they need to happen. So that's what boxing needs to give to me. The fights that we want.
And you know what, we got a good
and we're getting we have a lot of good fights coming up, like the Oscar Valdez and the Stevenson fight. That's a good fight coming up.
That's a good fight.
The Ugas and Spence fight. That's a great fight. Yeah, so you know.
And then you know, hopefully some of the other fights could get made. Hopefully Usyk and Joshua 2 gets done, which I think is in the making. And I'm sure that Tyson Fury is going to handle his business with Dillian White, and then the winner of Joshua and Usyk 2 will fight Tyson for all the marbles. And
we're getting there.
We'll go from there. You know, we got a big lineup. You got, like you said, Shakir Stevenson, Oscar Valdez. That's gonna be a major, massive fight.
Amanda Serrano and
Katie Taylor, massive
Katie
fight
Taylor,
in women's boxing. So no, boxers for the second quarter of the new year, boxers going to do its thing. Hopefully down the road, we could get, those fights. We could get hopefully David Haney in the ring with somebody. We could get Tank a quality fucking fighter finally. You can see Ryan Garcia do what most of us think he's capable of doing. But he gets a lot of hate because he's a pretty boy. So if you're a pretty, Oscar De La Hoya got the same hate. But
so that's why I feel like he's with the right person.
So but people
he understands what he's going through.
Well, Oscar got in that fucking ring, that pretty boy shit went out the window. So
exactly,
and he will lace. God, Oscar will lace your ass.
That's the one thing that I'd never hear anybody say, that Ryan Garcia is a pretty boy in the ring, because when he gets in there, he does handle his business. That's one thing, now that you say that, I never hear anybody say that he's a pretty boy in the ring.
Oh, when I knew, I predicted the round and the shot that he was going to knock out the last fight he fought.
Campbell?
Yeah. He was going to exact to the letter. And when it happened, I went crazy in this bitch.
Yeah. Did you put money on it?
No, I don't gamble, man, because
oh man,
yeah, man,
I made a killing.
Yeah, I would have made a killing, man. I don't gamble though, because wifey run the finances. Yeah, my wife, God bless her, she's an agent, but she's been doing this boxing shit with me for 27 years, man. So we met in high school, we were kids, man. We've been together ever since. So I'm gonna do a little thing we call, how New York Knicks fans, because you're a Knicks fan, I'm a Knicks fan, how motherfucking fans, especially New York Knicks fans, I hate these dudes, man, because they jump off the bandwagon when they lose, and when they jump on.
Yeah, I'm on there for life, and I sometimes I hate that I'm so loyal to them, because we always get our heart broken.
Look at my dumb ass. Look at my dumb ass. So we're gonna do this thing called jumping on and jumping off the bandwagon. So Jaron Boots Ennis and the next boogeyman of the welterweight division. Everybody's on this kid. They love him to death. They think he's going to be the next world superstar of the welterweight division. You jumping on that bandwagon, or you jumping off?
Jump on. I think he's the next big thing, but I don't think he's there yet. But it's coming. It's coming.
How about you?
I'll jump on that one. Yeah.
How about you, man? I'm going to quote Nas. It ain't hard to tell. When you just see certain things in fighters, man. When I first saw Jared Ennis fights, of course, a couple fights into his career, I knew he was going to be something special. I said the same thing when Errol Spence was coming up, and I said the same thing about Xander Sayers. I didn't say the same thing about Berlanga. I knew that eventually he was going to get exposed.
Yeah.
I wish him the best. I mean, he got a powerful punch. He's Puerto Rican.
That was going to happen too. I knew it. I don't know what it was. I had that gut feeling. I was like,
gut feeling. All right. Crawford and Spence, if it does happen, are you still excited as you were 3 years ago? You jumping on that bandwagon? You jumping off?
I mean, I'm gonna jump on it, because even though we talk shit like we still want to see that fight. I don't care. People still want to see that fight. That's still a big freaking argument on Twitter, to be honest. So I'm gonna have one. I still want to see it. Me too. Hop on that.
I still want to see that fight. I think right now, if it gets made this year, late this year, maybe early next year, they're still kind of in their prime where they could give us a good fight. Not like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather when they finally fought.
Yeah, when I said
hopefully
it happens within this year or the next, because we definitely want to see that. So
Tank Davis is gonna it's legendary. You on that bandwagon, or you're not on that bandwagon?
To be honest, I'm not really a big fan of his, but I know he got knockout power and stuff like that, but I'm not really a big fan of Tank, to be honest. Yeah. So I'm not on that wagon. No. I feel like his team, they're paving a way for him. He's with Mayweather. He's kind of or he don't have no say so in what happens in his career. To be honest, it's all Mayweather. He don't have no say so. So like he can't even really talk shit online and say who he want to fight. If you notice, he doesn't really go on Twitter anymore or social media and talk shit about who he wants to fight next or what's next for him or nothing.
That's right.
So I'm not even really excited about whatever is happening for him.
All right, the last one. Serrano versus Taylor is going to give us the bombs that we're expecting to happen. You jumping on that bandwagon? You jumping off?
I'm jumping on. Yeah. This was a long time coming. It's gonna be in New York, and you know that arena is gonna be filled with Puerto Ricans. It's gonna be a big fight. So I'm definitely on that. So she's, you know, I feel like she's gonna show improve, and it's gonna be an epic fight.
That's gonna be a good fight. And then, you know, my fear is that they, let's be honest, they're each other's best opponent they've ever faced.
Yeah. So you know, when you fight the best, it brings out the best in you. So we'll probably see things that we've never seen from
I hope
one of the fighters. So
it makes both of them skittish, and they'll be scared. I think that's gonna happen the first couple of rounds. It's gonna be a first couple.
Yeah, they're gonna be filling each other out. It's like the first couple. It's not gonna happen until like the middle.
Yeah. You know, I think Amanda's gonna have the hype of by fighting in Madison Square Garden, having the people behind her. Plus, I've never seen a boxer more serious about their craft.
Yeah,
male or female.
She's not really on social media. She's not really on social media. She doesn't have like a love life. Like she's like just tuned in and all dedicated for boxing. Yeah,
boxing is what she does, and that's why she has the accolades that she has. So, all right, early prediction. Because I'm gonna let you get out of here so you can go do your thing. So, early prediction: who wins Valdez, Shakur Stevenson?
I think Shakur wins the fight. You know, even though I'm not a big fan of Shakur, I can't stand him, to be honest. Can't stand him. But you know, I gotta give props where they're due. He's an excellent fighter. I think his speed and like, you know, he's just gonna get Valdez out of hand. Then like, not for nothing, I'm like really iffy about Valdez when he popped dirty the last fight, and you know, when he fought Burchell, like we don't even know if he was clean for that fight, to be honest. And then, you know, Burchell was recovering from COVID. He was very weak after his weight. Like he was having trouble losing weight on that fight. So, you know, all the ducks were lined up for Valdez to win that fight. And I don't think it's gonna go the same way for him with the Stevenson fight. So,
there was so many extenuating factors that deflated the fight for me after the fight. During the fight, everybody was picking Burchell because of the monster, you know, rightfully so because of the monster he was. I picked Valdez to win because I covered Valdez, not officially covered him, you know, through, you know, watching him and stuff like that early in his career. And what people fail to realize is that Oscar Valdez could box. He is skilled. If you go watch some of his earlier fights, he could box. But, you know, the pride that goes along with being a Mexican warrior, showing, but in the pride of the Mexican people means getting in there and you know, duking it out, you know, going, you know, so sometimes he lets go of those boxing skills to duke it out. So I said to myself, if he could box, he could beat Burchell, which he did for the most part. But then all the other stuff came out and it's totally deflated what I feel for him as a fighter. The win itself, now I'm questioning my, you know, like, you know, did he really win this fight or was it all the other factors, you know? So
exactly.
I agree with you on that. I think that Shakur Stevenson is going to win this fight because I don't think Oscar Valdez is going to do anything different than what he's been doing. And Shakur Stevenson is just so slick and knows how to move in and out of there. He's not going to stand in there like Burchell did. He's exactly. Gonna, so I'll pick him. He's
gonna stick and move. He's gonna go in there, do what he gotta do, jump out. Like, you know, they're gonna stay there to get beat up.
All right. Last question of the night. Who is the fighter the most hated fighter that you personally hated? But just on their boxing, not their persona, in all of the years you've been watching boxing.
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't really have people that I hate that much. I don't like Shakur Stevenson. I don't like him. I don't know what it is about him. I just do not like. I do not. I feel like he tries to play this gangster character that he's really not. Just because he's like signed with Jay Prince, I feel like he thinks he's automatically a gangster just because Jay Prince is. So that's my thing. But you know, I don't really hate fighters like that.
That's a good observation.
I'm not, yeah, but I'm not a fan of a lot of fighters. I don't hate fighters though.
Yeah, mine for the longest time. It wasn't until after he retired that I appreciated the fighter he was Prince Nassim. God, I hated. God, I hated Prince Nassim.
He was a great entertainer. He was a great entertainer.
God, he was a good entertainer, man. But I was I'm a boxing purist, and I love boxing. So when he used to do all that stuff, and
all that extra stuff, yeah.
and he would knock people out. Like his power for his weight was out of this world. So for me,
when you do all that extra stuff, you have to be beating people up, because if you do all that and you lose a fight, it's like you're doing too much. You know, like
that's right. It's like when you were a kid in the Bronx and watching a street fight, you always knew the dude doing all the extra was gonna get his ass beat. Yeah. and then what happened? So, all right. Well, listen, you were fun to have you on the show. I'm glad you came. I thank you
for having me on.
Yeah,
this is fun. This is a fun thing you're doing here.
You know, giving me a platform to do my thing that led me to get discovered, to do what I do today. I appreciate it.
That was all you. That was all you. I was just asking fans for their predictions, and you did like above and beyond. And it was like, you need to be doing this on the regular. So
sure. It was sparked from there. So much love to you, from me, from my household to you. Much love. I appreciate what you do. Boxer Twitter.
Thank you.
Queen of Boxer Twitter gets the last word. What you got for Boxer Twitter?
Mind your business.
That's it. Mind your business. Mind your business. Or punks jump up to get beat down.
Beat down, yes.
Okay. You have a good one. I'll see you on Boxer Twitter. Talk to you later.
All right. Okay, Peace. Bye.